Live from Pacific Junction Hotel, Girth Radio.
Welcome back, director, writer, actor. Is that the right order, Pat Mills?
Sure, yeah, that works for me.
Okay. Do you just change it up depending on the party or the
Depends.
vibe?
I just switch things up, throw things on the floor and see what happens. What
Yeah.
they drop in.
You are back once again at TIFF with Don't Talk to Irene. This is your follow-up after Guidance.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
So it feels really, really good to play TIFF again because it did so many good things for Guidance. So I'm really looking forward to, getting an audience and getting it out there.
Explain Don't Talk to Irene, just what the premise is. You've been carrying this around for a while, too.
I have. I first pitched this at TIFF in 2008. So it's been 9 years since then, which is insane. But it is about an outcast girl named Irene, and she has a bad relationship with her mother, and she's fat, and she gets bullied at school. And she has one dream, and it's to become a cheerleader. And she has a lot of opposition, obviously, from kids at school. And then she ends up being the victim of a prank, and her bullies get suspended and have to do 2 weeks at a community service at a retirement home. And then she keeps her dream of being a cheerleader alive by assembling the old folks in the home and creates like a dance crew out of them to then audition for a reality show.
All right. There's a lot going on there.
There's a lot going on. It's a pretty crazy movie.
Mm-hmm. And as I was saying, you've been carrying this. You pitched this back in 2008 at a TIFF pitch this competition, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was kind of the initial spark, or what was the image that you kind of kept going through all these years? Obviously, you took a detour with Guidance.
Yeah, well, what kept me going was just this character that I came up with, and I really liked her, and I really wanted to tell her story. So while the film, it evolves, the script evolved so many times in the 9 years, the character of Irene never really budged. She was always going to be this, kind of weird, cute girl. A
lot of heart.
Yeah, she's got a lot of heart, and, I kind of have this funny relationship with high school stories. There's, I'm a really cynical, I have a dark sense of humor, but I kind of am a bit of a softie.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it kind of comes across in my films that while I like a good, bad joke, I also am like, I feel for these characters a lot. And I really wanted a girl like Irene to, have a really positive outcome.
You also make a cameo again, just another time in school, similar to Guidance, where you're just boozing it up.
Yeah.
The sweater vest and the whole bit again.
Yeah, and the thing is I wasn't going to do that, but my producers were like, you've got to do it. You've got to do it. So I ended up doing it.
Yeah. That's cool. Is it hard to cast something like this? Because you need to get, the right seniors. You need to get the right kind of Irene to get the heart. And, obviously, she's a fat actress. So, you need to find somebody that fits that mold. And even Tess, is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to find, because to cast these people, it would seem kind of difficult. Because you want to strike the right note and kind of get the audience on your side, if that makes sense.
It absolutely makes sense. It was almost impossible to cast this film. And the biggest hurdle was finding our Irene, a girl who fit the part physically, could carry a movie, was funny, and a good actor. And we knew we were going to find a newcomer because that person doesn't exist. This Irene was we're going to have to search for her and find her. And in fact, we pushed the shoot twice because we couldn't find her. Mm-hmm. We put out a casting call and we auditioned a lot of people. Nobody was good. I mean, we saw a lot of good talent, but just people. And the thing is we wanted it authentic and we wanted somebody young. And there's a lot of people who, Irene has a body that isn't encouraged to become an actor, so there's not a lot of people to choose from because they don't generally become actors because they're not, unfortunately, they're not encouraged to become actors. And so the people that we did see were very, very new and almost terrified. So we knew we couldn't have somebody who we had to handhold a lot. And what ended up happening was, so we did a casting call in Canada and basically saw tapes and auditioned people in person from all around Canada, and then we ended up getting an American casting director to do a casting call in the U.S., and we saw all of these people from the U.S., people from Alabama with the amazing cute accents.
Oh man.
And then the funniest thing is we saw self-tape from our lead, Michelle, that came in through the American casting call, and it turned out she was from Etobicoke. So we had to, spend money on finding an American to do a casting call in America to find a neighbor. So I found that really funny.
For a story that's basically set in Ontario too.
And it's true. And it's like, we shot in Hamilton, and she's smack dab between Toronto and Hamilton in Etobicoke. So I just thought that was really, like, poetic.
Yeah. She does a great job, though. Like, really sarcastic.
Mm-hmm. No, she's really good. She was really great. And she has training in Second City. And she had, I think, done maybe a commercial and a web series before Irene. So this was her big first role. And she was a joy to work with.
Yeah, give her a high five. She did a solid job. So
high five, Michelle.
there you go.
There we go.
Is it like, because again, you've been carrying this around since 2008, and there's been a lot more kind of emphasis on this whole thing of like body shaming and fat shaming and all that kind of, those kind of discussions online. Did that kind of start to influence some of your writing, or was it always just kind of teen vibe? Because a lot of the teen movies are just about not fitting in or being an outsider, and she was clearly like, Irene was weird enough that she was always going to be an outsider, skinny or not. You know what I mean?
Definitely. It's funny that it did, like, with Facebook and social media and everything, like, the body positive movement really blew up, and it got a lot of support, but it also brought out the trolls too. And I was never intending this to be referencing the internet and all of that too much, or cyberbullying. I didn't really want to make it about that, but yeah, it's interesting. I almost, it was really casting it. I even like looked, asked the like body positive bloggers to help find her. Like, can you put a casting call on your? And so they were actually a great ally in a sense. But I think I'm rambling and I didn't actually answer your question.
No, that's fair. Thing just sometimes when people watch something like this, right? A high school movie, like I was saying, is just all about trying to fit in and trying to be, you know what I mean? And so she wants to just join the cheerleading squad, which is just a normal high school response. And unfortunately, could be even sometimes just being like, you're not pretty enough to join that team or whatever. The girls are stuck up or whatever, and those kind of things. But then you add this extra layer of like being cute and round. Then it's extra pressure because they're not going to accept you, right? Because we know these discussions, we've seen these discussions online.
Yeah.
So it adds an extra layer of like, oh man, I don't know if this is the best thing for you. Like,
yeah, well, totally. And I actually wanted to create a story about a teen girl who, you know, is fat and learns to just love it and not actually change during the process. And I think that there's a lot of movies where you see these girls, teen movies, where you see these girls who are like kind of unique, and then their character arc is to lose it.
yeah.
And it's seen as a positive thing. And I kind of think that's bullshit. So what I really wanted to do was have this teen girl who's like, no, I'm not going to go on a diet. But she's so lovable and almost naive that wouldn't even be an option because she doesn't even think about it. Like, I didn't want her to really question her body too much. I just wanted her to like gun forward and do what she needed to do.
Yeah, and I think that's the key too, because it's just like she is kind of naive, but it's a really charming naive, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like she already knows she's fat, so when you point it out to her, she's like, "Yeah, so what? Do you want to get a slice of pizza?" Basically.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. It's like, let's move on. Like, I already know. So what else do you want to talk about?
Totally. And you know, there's a scene with the mom who, you know, says that she's overweight, and she's like, "Well, I'm fat, and I love being fat."
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind she grows to come to that rather than grows to change. And I wanted to tell that story, and I almost wanted to make the whole cheerleading squad something that would be intimidating, but ultimately accepting.
Yeah.
Because I think that we enter into all of these environments and we're kind of afraid of the people that, you know, surround our goal. But what if we're wrong and they actually accept you? Because there's a lot. I didn't want to have like, you know, too much girl on girl bashing.
Mean girls.
I almost wanted like a couple mean girls, sure. But
the one in the movie's nasty.
She's terrifying.
Yeah,
she's
I was like,
really bad.
You can't hit a girl, but I was like, oh man, she got on my nerves.
No, but she was really well performed by Aviva Mangillo, who is on that show Backstage and is a singer as well. So, you know, she was great to work with. It's so funny how the people who play the meanest people are always the sweetest.
Yeah, and with guidance, you kind of put a lot of your own you kind of talked about this in a number of interviews, how you kind of put a lot of your own insecurities being a child actor and all these things that kind of fueled a lot of the storyline and guidance. Some of your insecurities kind of floating into this as well, like, because it's a similar thing of just trying to fit in teen high school, and you being a gay dude obviously too, like there's a lot there, right? So is it kind of fueling into that as well?
100%. It's like somebody say like filmmakers only really tell the same story over and over again. And that's pretty much what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Stuck in high school, self-acceptance. It's always the same thing. And one day I probably will graduate from that theme, but not yet. So yeah, I was basically Irene in high school. I was awkward and I didn't have any friends, and I just found it really hard to fit in. And you have a goal, but you're not sure you're confident enough to pursue it. And you kind of feel like you don't have anyone pushing you forward. But with Irene, I wanted her to have some sort of, magical mentor. And that's where the Gina Davis thing comes in.
How cool was it to work with Gina Davis?
It was great. You always worry when you meet a hero that they're going to let you down. But she was so lovely and really easy to work with. Pretty much like there wasn't any issues with her. And it was the first time that I've worked with like an actual movie star, like Oscar-winning movie star, and I was so nervous because you don't know, and their image is you're so used to their image, but you don't know what they're actually like to work with. But she was lovely, so easygoing.
She seemed to like the script too, like the storyline, and like she seemed to be having a lot of fun too, the way she's kind of delivering the dialogue and like.
No, she was great. I sent her the script and a letter, and we had a phone conversation about, like before she signed on officially, about like how I was going to play and what kind of actors I was going to get. And she seemed to really like it. She said it was very funny. And, I think it fits into her sense of humor because just based on her choices that she's made as an actress, like The Long Kiss Goodnight is like a ridiculous movie, but it's so funny. And, she does say, suck my dick in that movie. So I kind of like her because she's a bit of she's, Hollywood legend, but she's almost a bit of an outsider as well.
Yeah.
And she doesn't feed into all the bullshit that you tend to see with other actors, where she was like, you know what? I want to have a family, and I think that she's happily married. She has some kids, and she doesn't really need to hustle. She's Gina Davis.
Yeah.
And
Thelma and Louise, people still kind of reference it and kind of bring it up and stuff like that. So she's made like a couple of films like that where they've left a significant mark.
No, she's made some she's played some iconic roles that will always be in film history. Like Thelma and Louise is a brilliant movie. And you don't see those movies anymore, which is really, really sad. When you have strong female characters, they're Wonder Woman. And I think that that's kind of shitty.
Yeah. Why is that, though? Is it just because of the box office, you think? Or the studios got cold feet? Or, like...
I don't know. I think that there's a shift happening right now. I mean, I really wanted Wonder Woman to do well because to prove that, you can have a lead woman. But I just kind of wish that we saw more flawed leads in movies. And Thelma and Louise that's the perfect movie because we have two flawed human beings, both women, leading a movie, and it made a lot of money. And now I think that people are just worried. I mean, even independent cinema and more dramas aren't doing as well. And, I'm not that interested in superhero movies. So hopefully we'll make a comeback of those movies.
Kind of going back to Thelma and Louise, too, it's like two women that are working it out, which is kind of like what a teen movie is, right? You just see a group of characters kind of working it out and trying to fit in and no, this doesn't work. And what if I wear this leather jacket, or what if I wear lipstick or something, whatever it is. Right. And you see them working it out on film. And generally it's like an hour and a half of like not every experiment failing.
Right. For sure. And then like, oh God, now we lost our money because I had sex with Brad Pitt. And oh, okay, I'm going to hold up a liquor store.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that I love about that movie is it's like really empowering but really sad at the same time. And it always gets me. It's like I love that they make the choice to, drive over the edge of the cliff, or the Grand Canyon rather, not just a cliff, at the end of that movie. But it's just so sad. And it's a perfect movie because you feel empowered but saddened by the end of that movie. It's like I wish I could write a movie as brilliant as that movie.
Can you clarify something for me as a straight dude? Is Gina Davis considered like a gay icon? I know like my gay friends, they kind of talk about Barbra Streisand and Madonna, Lady Gaga, some of the common ones. But I never really hear them talking about like Gina Davis. But she seems to fit the kind of model. Wouldn't she?
She does. But the thing is, I think about Gina Davis is I think that she's more of a feminist icon because she has her gender and media studies.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Institute. And she's just
kind of documenting who's on TV. And...
Yeah, and just kind of pushing about like more representation by for girls and women in the industry. But I think that she's more of a feminist icon because she's just played these like action movies. She's been in these action movies. She's
Tough broad.
Very smart. She's a Mensa member, and I think that she's also like she started out as a model and is so much more than that. And she's so. But in terms of the gay thing, I think that of the actresses of that generation, I feel like Meryl Streep has sort of taken over. I think that gay guys love Meryl Streep.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, and they love Tilda Swinton.
That one
Tilda
makes...
Swinton is like, and I think it's just because she's a very interesting looking, handsome actress.
Yeah.
Who is just plays it different in every single movie, and sometimes she's really big.
Yeah. And she's fluid. Like Gary Oldman's the same way, where like you sometimes watch a whole movie and you didn't realize that was him until you see the credits. And Tilda's the same way. It's like she's a chameleon, like hiding in plain sight.
Definitely.
And then aside from Gina Davis, you also had Scott Thompson in.
Yes.
That was so cool to see him.
Yeah.
Like back in business and doing jokes and sarcasm and like.
Yeah, it was great. He was I really, really wanted him, and it was great that he loved the script, and because he was like a hero of mine. Like he was really part of my coming out experience. I think that, I religiously watched Kids in the Hall, and I remember in high school people would ask me what my favorite show was, and I said Kids in the Hall, and they would like make fun of me for it because I think that I liked it before it was cool.
Yeah,
I liked it like right from the start, and I think that 14-year-olds don't really understand dressing up in women's clothing and like pretending to be a secretary, but I always knew that was special.
You were in on the joke. It's almost like an inside joke.
Exactly. Oh yeah, I was doing the same in my basement. But he was great to work with. He was really funny and really cool.
Do you feel the teen movies need to be kind of updated a little bit, like with cell phones and cyberbullying? You mentioned cyberbullying. Tash is another character in your movie where like he's kind of experimenting a little bit. And he's wearing lipstick and things like that. And then like Irene has that funny line with him. It's like, "Are you a boy today?" Right? And it's like, do you think the teen movies need to kind of be updated and be a little bit more modern, or do you think those stories are just kind of they're universal, which is just kind of not like outsiders and trying to fit in?
Well, I think that every teen movie is going to be there's going to be some sort of outsider element to it, and then trying to figure out what they're doing here, because high school is just such a strange place to be like thrown into, and we all have to do it. But I feel like now teen movies, when we were younger, I feel like we're a bit more sophisticated or something, and I feel like now everything's become so safe and Disney-fied that I kind of wish that they updated it and kind of made it gave their audience more credit.
Yeah.
Like you see stuff on the stuff that's like really teeny is actually meant for tweens now. I mean, there are exceptions, of course, like Edge of 17 that we were just talking about. Like that was like a real teen movie with a girl with a problem. I don't know if it did very well.
I tried to push it as much as I could because I liked it. Like
it's a great movie and like really good performances.
The Haley girl was solid. Like I forgot the Chinese dude, but the best friend.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah, super awkward. Like he's a solid best friend in terms of the teen genre. You had the sarcastic, not give a damn teacher like Woody Harrelson
and Kyra Sedgwick. Is that who the mother was?
Yeah,
she was in. Was it Kyra?
Yeah.
Kyra. She was interesting because. Mother with a problem, and she played it very well.
Yeah. For this movie too, like, you had a lot of like support in terms of financial, and is that kind of getting easier trying to get all those different grants and trying to raise all that money, or is that another issue too with like what you're talking about with like filmmaking and the type of movies that people want to see?
Ooh, that's tough. I mean, we had a lot of support in this country with filming, but you never have enough. So it's like, yeah, we had more money than we had guidance, but we were still like scraping to make it work because we had a pretty big cast. We had, music, and we wanted to have music that people knew. And so...
Yeah, you got some Milli Vanilli in there.
Got some Milli Vanilli, which was very expensive. But anyway, I feel like while we had more money than we had on guidance, it didn't really change the amount I was able to play on set. So it's like I was still rushing through scenes, not able to get many takes, just because the scope of the film was bigger. And while the pot of the money is bigger, it gets thrown to more places. So you actually, the experience for me as a filmmaker didn't really change that much. But we were very, very happy to get a lot of support. Telefilm came in, OMDC came in, we got tax credits, Harold Greenberg Fund. Like, more people helped finance this movie than Guidance, but I think it also has more of a, it's a more commercial, I think.
Yeah.
In a way.
There's experience after Guidance where you learned how to kind of like both market the film and distribute the film and stuff like that. Does that kind of affect too how you approached Irene?
Oh, that's a good question.
Thank you.
Your only good question. No, just kidding. God. I think I knew, not necessarily in terms of marketing, but I knew that the issues that we had in the edit of Guidance, I knew I became a better writer with Irene because I knew all of the stuff that got cut out of Guidance. I knew that I can sometimes be overindulgent in terms of funny lines in a scene, and the scene has too many beats. So I knew I had to like cut a lot before we shot. In terms of marketing, I do think that, well, because we could get a star that brings some value, and we were able to, get Gina Davis or Scott Thompson, that definitely did come into play because she brings an audience. She's not like as big as other actors are right now, but she does bring value.
Like, people know who she is.
Exactly.
How's the TIFF experience as you go into it this year? Because you had a great TIFF with Guidance. So are you going to be doing more parties, less parties? Are you going to adjust anything? Or because it gets wild.
It does get wild.
Especially as a filmmaker.
Oh, so tiring. I'm going to try not to do as many parties. But I know myself well enough to know that
that's a lie.
I'll say I'm going to go for one drink and I'll stay there till 3 a.m. And then I'll have to get up and do an interview. And that's the thing that was pretty crazy during TIFF is with Guidance. It was, I think the first screening was on the Friday or the Saturday, like right at the beginning. So I kind of got all the intense stuff out of the way at the beginning. This is on Monday. So I think that I have to be very, very, very well rested and well behaved before Monday rolls around. And it's going to be very, very challenging.
All right. Good luck with that.
I know.
We got to talk about the dancing too. Where did all those sweet dance moves come from? When the seniors start to move and Irene and like, I know it's cheerleading based, but there's a couple extra ones in there that are kind of sweet.
Yeah. So our Mark Kimmelman, our choreographer, used to, like, when he still dances now, but when he showed us these videos of when he was like 9 years old and he would do these performances on stage, a lot of them come from him as a child.
Wow.
So he would have these videotapes that I guess his parents would videotape of him like performing at school or whatever. So a lot of the moves came from him when he was a kid, which is really cool. And then also a bit of like, he's gay too, right? He's a choreographer, obviously. So he had a
saw
bit
that
of, like,
one coming, yeah.
yeah, but he had a lot of like sass with the finger pointing and all that stuff. So just throwing as much of that kind of subtextual gay stuff into a dance move is always fun.
Yeah, that's what I was saying to you, and I sent you an email last night, but it's wonderfully gay, the whole movie. Like, that's why I was asking about Gina Davis and some of the dance moves and stuff. Even though it's not overt or anything like that, it's just a really nice kind of subtext. It's like a salt and pepper over the whole thing.
Yeah, for sure. Like a squeeze of the homo all in every scene, you know?
There you go,
yeah, they're not really talking about being gay, but it's sort of...
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. It's like... I think it's always fun to just kind of pepper it in, and sometimes you film the subtext, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's what we did. It's sort of like, in some ways, Irene can be a corollary or symbolic of like coming out of the closet and being okay with who you are, right? So,
yeah, this is me.
This is me. I'm fat and I'm a cheerleader. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
you know?
that's it. Yeah,
yeah.
That should be the tagline for the movie.
Exactly. Well, that's a good one. We're trying to figure out what one could be. So yeah, maybe I'll pitch
There you
that.
go. Running by the PR department. So good luck with that,
yeah,
dude.
Totally.
For you, then, kind of similar to Irene's story, like, she was okay with being fat and all that stuff. Like, do you see yourself then as like a filmmaker who's gay, or do you see yourself as a gay filmmaker, or does none of that matter then necessarily? You're just a filmmaker, period.
Oh, that's a good question. I think instead of saying gay, I feel like more of an outsider, which obviously includes as gay, but I feel like there are straight people who are filmmakers as well, or straight people who are friends of mine who have the same sort of outsider thing that I have.
Yeah.
And I identify more with that. But I don't mind if somebody calls me a gay filmmaker, or I'm a filmmaker who just happens to be gay. Like, I'm fine with all of it, but I think that I look at the world a bit differently. That a lot of gay people are very, very straight in a lot of ways, and are insiders, and kind of look at the world the way that the world is presented that we're all used to. And I'm not one of those people. I just kind of I'm always interested in the characters that don't look like actors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that interested in, like, quote unquote conventionally hot people. I'm not interested in those stories. I could be less interested in seeing the story of really good looking men falling in love. So I don't know. I'm gay, but I'm not necessarily interested in that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Necessarily.
Like, even going back to guidance too, like, it informs, like, the whole outsider thing kind of informs your teen sensibility, like that chip on the shoulder too, where like you want to fit in. And like you said, like, I'm Irene and I'm fat, like, you deal with it. Like, it's your problem, not my problem. And it's the same thing I think sometimes too, where like if somebody had an issue with you being a gay filmmaker, it's their problem. It's like, I'm a filmmaker, sure. Period. Like, this is it. You accept it, right? But you still have to work your way in through that community, at least as a filmmaker, right? Maybe not necessarily with the gay community, but as a filmmaker, you still have to find acceptance with TIFF and other organizations.
Totally.
And that sometimes can be difficult. And that outsider status is great because it's like, that's your chip on your shoulder, and that's kind of keeps what keeps you going, in a sense, of fuel.
Yeah, totally. And there's also, like, there's a challenge and pressure to have a brand. Like, everybody needs to brand themselves in some ways in this industry, right? It's like, what do I want to be? And, you know, I think that a lot of women filmmakers have to kind of play the women filmmaker role, because that's like a conversation that's happening right now. And that is the brand that they'll become. And I think that's all positive, but it also kind of holds you back in a way.
Yeah.
But you also have to play a game. You have to play along with what you have to play the game.
Do you like playing the game though?
I don't really love it, but at the same point, I don't. If somebody wants to, label me as something, I'm fine with it. I don't really take myself very seriously in that regard, so I'm kind of okay with whatever. But I understand that there's a bit of a game that you have to play to get financed.
And in terms of branding, you're 2 films in now. Do you feel like you have a brand, or you've established a brand, or like, because to me, you really kind of corner this whole like teen outsider thing, like we've been talking about, right? So like, you do this well, and I'm starving for teen films. There's not a lot of.
I know, me too.
So I'm like, anytime you put out something, I'm like, yo, right?
Awesome, thank you. Well, hopefully, I mean, I would love it if people associated me with like odd teen movies. Like that's sort of a dream. So I welcome that. That would be awesome.
Are you going to continue making teen movies, or what's the next project then? I know it's like you just got this one out, and
well, I am currently developing like a limited TV series based on my experience in the 9th grade, when my name's Pat and I had long blonde hair and everybody assumed that I was a girl, and I had a lot of experiences basically as a teen girl, because I made a lot of choices. Sometimes I would choose not to correct people and just kind of run with it. So this is about a 14-year-old named Taylor, who everybody just assumes he's a girl on the first day of high school, and he becomes that. And he actually learns that other people's perceptions of who he is might be more accurate than his own. So it's sort of a it's sort of a non-binary, what am I? It's exploring, identity, gender identity, and sexuality in 6 episodes. So I'm working on that. And I'm also developing a horror movie.
Oh, yo.
Yeah,
okay,
right?
let's get into this. Yo.
Yeah, so,
What you got?
My producer is writing a horror movie, and the leads are gay women. So it's like a gay female horror movie, and it's...
well, I don't think... Yeah.
You don't see that often.
Yeah, I was just trying to think if I've seen gay people at all in horror movies.
They're not that common in horror movies.
How come? Is there a reason why? I can't even think of a reason why. Just general racism, or just laziness, or
it's tricky because it's such a straight male dominated genre.
Yeah.
Now there are more women coming in, but straight men generally don't really want anyone that wouldn't sleep with them in a movie.
Well, oh, that makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they also want to see women get murdered. And so it's like, this is sort of taking it
well,
back.
that's their fault for sleeping in the woods, though.
It's true.
Right?
It's true. And, you know.
And then smoking weed. What
Yeah.
did you think was going to happen?
Yeah, and you're going to a place with no cell service? What the hell are you thinking?
Yeah, like, you kind of brought that upon
Yeah,
yourself.
totally, and you had sex.
So, but yeah, that's cool. So you're developing that one, or that one's written, you said?
That one, a draft is written. We're hoping to shoot in the spring.
Okay. And that'll be a feature. Then.
That'll
Okay.
be a feature film. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, again, it's set in the wilderness, so we're probably going to shoot it like outside of Toronto somewhere. But we don't have financing yet, so we're hoping to get that off the ground. And then I just have another TV comedy with a company here that I'm developing.
I know it's horror, but you kind of almost like, it's almost like you're going back to the 80s again, though, right? Like, I know horror has been doing really well with The Conjuring and Lights Out and all these other movies, It Follows and things like that, but it's like, the 80s was good to you, eh?
I love the 80s movies. Yeah, I always go back to them, and it's like, I find it really difficult to stay current, because when I'm just relaxing and I just want to put on something, I generally go back to the 80s. It's a habit that I have to stop doing it, because I just end up seeing the same thing over and over and over again. But I always just tend, that's sort of the era, because I feel like it's innocent. The budgets for the kind of outcast movies were higher. And I love the music. Like, the scores in 80s movies are amazing. And in fact...
Ferris Bueller, for example, has got great tracks.
Oh, totally. Ira Newborn, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I actually sent our composer a lot of 80s scores to work on Irene, because I wanted something synthy.
Yeah, and you did. You got Lion.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, do you know when the screenings are for Don't Talk to Irene?
Yep, September 11th, I believe, at 7:30, and September 13th at 6:30. I should double check that, but I'm pretty sure September 11th. Okay, wait, hold on a second. Okay, here we go. Our premiere is Monday, September 11th at 7:30 at Scotiabank 3.
Yo.
And our second public screening is Wednesday, September 13th at 6:30 in Scotiabank 10.
All right. Thank you, Pat Mills, for coming in and talking 80s movies and Don't Talk to Irene and just hanging out and having fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me again, and thanks for the beer.
Yeah, I
Always
guess we have a long-standing now, like, appointment now. Every TIFF, like every couple of TIFFs.
Every couple of years,
Yeah.
we have a film playing at TIFF, and I come back here and we chat.
Okay,
And
that
next
works.
time it'll either be about, like, you know, grade 9 looking like a girl, or horror movies
Yeah,
and lesbians.
yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, that's perfect.
Boom.
I can't. We have to end it there. There's nowhere else to go
I
after
guess
that.
that's true.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you.